Alrighty. Hello everyone, this is Degenerates Out Playing Nerds, also known as Laughing Coffin. I'm here to tell you, finally got the gold gear on the Conqueror, and this is the perfected Conqueror, I like to say. Kind of unkillable almost. When I played with the Conqueror, there's a few matches where you can 1v4 him and stuff like that. But what makes this so interesting is it's the stats that actually help out a lot. When you do 1v, like when you do 4v4s, that's where gear stats are enabled. You're gonna want them all up there, right? So let's go ahead and start from the top. I'm gonna show you the two helmets I usually end up using. So I have this one right here. It is exhaustion recovery maxed out, revenge mode duration upped. Reason I have that on for is it helps out a lot with actual taking care of things. Over here we have our two chest pieces I like to use. We have our one that has max block damage and decent speed. I don't really mess with execution health regen because when it comes down to a 1v4, I don't really like to spend a lot of time executing everyone. So as you can see clearly, I have one that has max sprint and decent block. Let's move over to our chest, our arm pieces. So I have three different arms I use. Two of them are the same right here, as you can see. But right here, block damage resistance is decently in stamina regen. The reason I like high stamina regen is because when I start doing my combos, the Conqueror uses a lot of stamina to do his moves. So here, it actually helps out a lot with gaining stamina back really fast. I have a couple headpieces I like to use. I have my max attack and stamina cost reduction, which is up there as well. Defense is pretty low. I don't really rely, I do rely on defense, but I do have other perks that give me good defense. And my other one, which is the skull with the spikes. Over here we have our little dogging handles. Feet cooldown reduction I don't really care about because I make the Conqueror is mainly passive, and I'll show you the feats here in a second. But the reason I have them all down as passive is because it helps out with actual battling. You don't feel like pressing the left up and down button in the middle of battle sometimes, right? Shields. I have two shields I like to use. I have the Leo Doggin shield, max revenge mode attack and max and decent revenge gained by injury. And then I have my other one, the Narim shield, which has max throw, which is really good. The reason I have it all set up just like that is because it helps out with actual 1v4s. I don't really like throw distance on when I'm doing 1v4s because I like to keep them up close and I can start doing damage to multiple people at one time with a couple swings. As you can see, I have the gold armor unlocked finally. All golded out right there. I gotta look awesome sometimes, right? Alright, so let's look at the feats I have. Speed revive, shield basher, heal and block, and catapult. I could have regenerate on or unearthable, but I like catapult just because I can take care of people pretty easy with that. But the reason I do speed revive is because on my arms, if I don't want to have, let's say I don't want to run max revive speed on my arms because I just do it right here with the speed revive. I could put on body count or conqueror, but I don't really care about that. Shield basher is what I use. My shield base attacks now do damage, so that actually helps out with combos you do. If you do R2 square, the R1, was it R1, R1, R2, and then square, that does a huge amount of damage right there. Heal on block. This is probably the most OP passive I've ever dealt with. Only reason I say so is because whenever you get to this level unlocking, you just start blocking everyone's attacks and they try to guard break. You use guard breaking back and they're still hitting you. And then say if everyone's hitting you at the same time and you bust your revenge, you automatically block all that attack and you can gain 2 bars of health doing that. Executions. I have the pop top for quick executions whenever I need them to wind up. Whenever I know there's no one around me, so I can just boom, done, right? Emotes. I have a couple of these. I like the psyched one, floor smash. That's fun. Combat, chain on, and the wind around, which is cool. Effects, I've always used Hellfire. I mean, really can't get more cool than Hellfire on a Conqueror. I think it helps out a lot, just from my own perspective. I also have different loadouts. I have my other loadouts I have for different modes. This is my duel and brawl loadout, just because I like how it looks. You got that cross and stuff like that going on. And then we have our Dominion loadout. The reason it's my Dominion loadout is because I run max debuff resistance, and then that's just because a lot of people like to guard break a lot. Arms, I should actually have. Oh, this is actually where I wanted it. Yeah. And then, as you can see, you know, I kept the same stuff on basically for the shield and stuff in the handle. I mean, that stuff is still OP. And then, like, as you can see, I clearly do not play as many characters as I do the Conqueror, but the Conqueror is my bae. But I hope you guys like that. I'm gonna give you guys like some short videos of what I can do with the Conqueror, but I hope you enjoy it. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and spam the shit out of that. If you have already, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I would highly appreciate some likes in here. So I'm just gonna show you some like tips you can do as a Conqueror. A lot of people usually just do the R2 and square combo on him, which is, you know, it's really effective. It's just like the Warden's Tornado, but I find it pretty boring sometimes. And I'm not, like, you know, I just hit rep 10, so I got this whole gold armor. So you can just, if you want to be really cheap, that's all you gotta do. Shoulder charge right into whoever you're playing against, and then you just get them right into the edge. Another way to successfully beat them, if you can't throw them off the edge, which you don't have to, wind up that attack. The reason you want to wind it up is because it's got 3 levels. The first level is low, second level is it's gonna be really decent. I'm gonna fall right here. See right there? Every time I get attacked, and then, so you just gotta throw some combos. If you stick with the same hits every time, they're bound to break it. The Conqueror doesn't really have cancel outers as much as everyone else does. You usually don't cancel out, you just follow through with that shit. But it usually helps out if you do different combos every now and then. So right here, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab him, push him, and win. If you sit right here and, like with the Conqueror, you can usually bully someone into a pit. A Conqueror's also job is to shield bash someone. Like one of your teammates is getting hit, just run out of nowhere and just hit the shit out of them. It's also a good way to mess with anyone who is using like revenge blockers or revenge builds. You can just keep on spamming that square on them, like up X square, and then you'll just like they can't do anything. You're messing with them, and you're just like they're just getting pissed off because they can't do anything against you. 1, 2, block. And it's if you feel like being a douchebag, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and let myself get killed though. But in other scenarios, like so say like you are in a 1v4, right? What's the easiest way of actual surviving a 1v4 with a conqueror? Well, you want to start doing like full blocks. You want to like I don't really necessarily run a full block as much. Like if you have a situation where everyone's gonna try to hit you at the same time, just full block the shit out of them, and you'll gain so much life. If you especially have the perk regenerate on, it usually helps out a lot. And with those unblockable moves, on a conqueror, you can counter break it pretty easily, or you can just slide stuff out the way. Gotta remember, as a conqueror, you are trying to not be aggressive, but you're trying to be more defensive. You're trying to read your opponent more. So if you ever lose the first round, that is totally fine. Don't be mad that you lost the first round of Conqueror. Just learn their game style, and that should help out a lot. And I really hope this helps you out, guys. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and a like, and I would highly appreciate it.